Welcome back to another edition of my Fooly operational analysis. This time I'm talking about The Mandalorian Season 1, Chapter 5, which is called The Gunslinger. And in it, Mando and Baby Yoda are fleeing from more bounty hunters who are after the child. And they end up on Tatooine because the Razor Crest is damaged. He needs it repaired. So in order for him to get it repaired, he has to do a thing, and then he does a thing, and then it gets repaired, and then they leave. Right? That's the shtick. Anyway, this episode was written and directed by Dave Filoni of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Rebels fame, and I would say of The Mandalorian fame as well. I think he's becoming a bigger deal to more Star Wars fans out there than, or even maybe more casual Star Wars enjoyers or fans. I guess you can be a casual fan. That's fine with me. Anyway, as I was watching this episode, watching how Mando took this other guy, what was his name? Rax Tyrell. That's not his name. I know that's not his name. I'm just joking, guys. Anyway, he took this other bounty hunter under his wing because he needed money for lunch and gas. Anyway, he needed money to get the Razor Crest repaired and then to get them off planet, obviously. And anyway, the mechanic lady was interesting. I liked her overall. The new bounty hunter dude, he seemed cool. He seemed kind of interesting. I don't think he died at the end there, so it means he can come back potentially. But then he could be dead if the pit droids are going to drag him all the way to Beggar's Canyon. I don't know that you could do that with a person who was just shot. You'd think they'd get up or something. Anyway. But it was interesting to me. The Mando and this pup went after this hardened assassin who the New Republic didn't want running around free anymore because she'd killed so many people for so many crime lords or crime families, including the Hutts. That was all super interesting. Them going after her was interesting. It was less interesting because of the action. Although it was cool, it was a cool tactic that she had the high ground that they staked out, and then that they blinded her with the flashes, and they used their speeders and their alternating flashes to get her. That Mando made himself like a target, but he trusted in his Beskar, and then the kid was able to get up behind her and provide enough of a distraction that Mando could catch her. But what's more interesting to me is the idea that Mando in the last episode was helping farmers to learn how to fight and how to survive and deal with with this threat. And in that time, in the few weeks that he spent there, he became a little softer, a little more humanized, a little more attached. I was speaking specifically to the child. And this time I want to say that I think he's just becoming, or I don't know if he's becoming or if there is being revealed about him through his actions and through his journey, that there's more to him than just the Beskar, than just the cool Mandalorian armor, which is super dope. And of course I want one and all that stuff, but that's not the only appeal. The appeal is the human inside of the armor. And he's an interesting man because he is willing to, put his life on the line in so many interesting ways. There doesn't seem to be greed there. It seems like his motivation for earning money and earning lots of it and earning it quickly is just based on survival, almost like a feast or famine attitude. Like, hey, I'm a hunter, and while the hunting is good, I'm going to hunt as much as I can and reap as much benefit as I can to utilize for different things. But at the end, when he steals the money from the kid, when he relieves him of his wallet, he dumps all this money into the hands of the mechanic lady, and she gladly takes it, and it looks like it's way too much based on her reaction. And he kind of nonchalantly just says, will this cover it? I don't know if those are New Republic credits or what the deal is, because he was dealing in calamari flan before, and different currencies. So I don't know exactly all what was behind that, but that was a way that he showed his gratitude. But he also showed a lot of generosity in leaving the kid with the killer that they were after with their mark. Fennec Shand. It's a cool name, by the way. And volunteering to go get the dewback to bring her back, and everything went according to plan. Yeah, he was going to get a bunch of money, but he was also giving a little because he could have stood his ground and fought it out, or pistol whipped the kid or whatever. But he said, like, "No, I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to let him earn my trust. I'm going to earn his trust by going and coming back, and hopefully it won't take too long or whatever." So I don't know. It's interesting. Like, there's a vulnerability to him. He's willing to let himself. He's willing to take a hit. He's willing to lose or come up short in some ways. But he's also always angling for his survival. So he's not like this bleeding heart who's just going to do things that are to his detriment just because he's going to. It seems like there's a moral code and that he wants to do the right thing. And like him killing the bounty hunter who was after him and the child earlier, if someone's going to kill you, you got to kill him first, some would say. So, that's understandable. But then it's not obvious to me that the shoulder or arm shot that he got on the kid was fatal. He wanted to keep Fennec alive, partially because she was more valuable. So there's an interesting blend of like pragmatism and like a higher morality where like he's willing to kill and he doesn't necessarily feel sorry for it because it's about survival, but like his focus is survival. But he also doesn't seem to want to like wantonly wound or damage the world around him, because if you're just going through tearing things up, what's left for you if you've survived? A world full of brokenness. And it doesn't seem like that's what he wants. And it's just a very interesting dynamic. Like, we don't know the Bushido or like the warrior way of the Mandalorians 100% yet. Like KOTOR and other sources would have you believe that they just wanted to conquer for the sake of conquering, the sake of the challenge. And, like Candyman back in KOTOR saying that, the Republic or the Mandalorians were thrilled when they were almost defeated by the Sith. It was the thrill of their lifetime, and they wish they could just achieve that once again. Almost like a Viking type mentality, or what I have known of Vikings, that like, they want to die and then go to Valhalla where they'll continue to die, unendingly in combat, fighting each other because it's so great and glorious. And I have nothing against, manhood or manliness or, kind of martial ideals to some extent, but there needs to be that balance. There needs to be that softness, and the Mandalorian contains that softness, and we're seeing more of that revealed as we go forward. And it's representing a really interesting balance of what I'm going to twist a term real quick, a strong male character can be, because he can also be weak and vulnerable and soft and emotional in some ways, or a lot of ways, even if it's hard to see. Because you can't see it on his face or read it on his face, but you can see it in his actions and how he treats people around him. And I think it's just super interesting. I think that's all I have to say for now. Go ahead and head over to mjmunoz.com/FO to check out all of my fully operational analysis. Follow along to see all my reviews and analyses of The Mandalorian, as well as lots of other Star Wars stuff. I've got Star Wars books that I've reviewed, comic books as well. One day I will really get all 9 Star Wars movies up there, the main ones, and then I'll get the others too at some point. But got a lot going on. I'm an artist, a writer, and a podcaster, so there's lots of things that I'm doing all the time that keep me busy and keep me on kind of a funny schedule, less than I would want. If I were freed up by selling books or getting a bigger following, I could definitely focus on more of these things and have a more consistent release schedule, but doing the best I can, and I'm just putting it out there and hoping that you all enjoy, and I sure am enjoying it. So anyway, I ask that you check me out. Go ahead and you can follow along my links at mjmunoz.com/FO or mjmunoz.com/podcasts and check out the podcast menu to find out how you can subscribe, all the different ways. There's video versions, there's audio versions, there's show notes on a lot of the podcasts. Not 100% of every single episode gets one, but most of them get them. Most of them. Anyway, check that out, and take care, folks, and just take care until next time.